I served in the Navy as a SWCC, and the constant pounding on the boats, on top of years of playing sports like rugby and hockey growing up, having a number of head injuries, left me with a lot of memory issues, I had brain fog, and just kind of stuff that just made me seem incompetent when I was in a professional setting. I'd lose track of what I was saying and kind of just make myself look like a fool. So I just wanted to get a handle on that, and that's what brought me here. On a day-to-day aspect, the most obvious signs were just my inability to control my emotions, whether it's angry, happy, or sad. I would just experience them to a very high degree, and it was hard for me to regulate that. I had really bad memory. My short-term memory was really pitiful. I'd forget what I was saying in the middle of sentences. I'd tell stories over and over again. The emotional regulation and the memory were the 2 main ones, but I mean, there's the list is kinda long. It's brain fog. So it's my 3rd week of earliest now, and I feel much more awake and alert. That's, like, the really most prominent thing that I'm feeling, but what really dawned on me yesterday was something happened where I usually would have a kind of bad emotional reaction, and I was able to, like, logically talk myself down from it, whereas before, there was no chance for that at all. Everything felt so compulsive, and I felt like, all this stuff was kinda just a part of my personality rather than something that I needed to get fixed. So yeah, no, it definitely feels good to be able to, not be kinda a hothead and, be able to control those urges when I do feel them. I just graduated, in December with a degree in motorsports engineering, and I got into a master's program, starts in September for Advanced Motorsports Engineering, and that was one of the biggest reasons I wanted to come here. In the school setting, I haven't had any issues. I kinda was able to get by, but as soon as I was put in a professional setting and, eyes were on me and I had to perform, that's when all these issues kinda started showing up, and I just desperately wanted to get them under control before I get to, this master's program, and so I don't make myself look like a fool, and, yeah, it seems like it's working, so I'm very hopeful. So I mean, honestly, if I were gonna put a number on how much I feel like I've improved, I'd probably say like at this point, 15 to 20%. Um, at the same time, like it's hard to gauge because like I didn't know what to expect as far as improvement. I didn't know like what the goalposts were, but I mean, I definitely like I took my exit neuro exam today and I saw the results and I'm definitely have improved by roughly that amount, and that's how I feel mentally as well, so I think it's lining up pretty well. If I were to talk to any other younger operators who are experiencing issues, I'd say don't be concerned with the age thing, that has nothing to really do with what's happened. You can have these issues at any age, and it's just important that you realize that it is an issue because, like I said, this whole disease process or whatever you want to call it is kind of so insidious, like, especially if you have ADHD, the symptoms align so closely with each other that you kind of convince yourself that you're fine and that there's nothing wrong with you. But all it takes is reading some of the symptoms and other people's stories, and you realize that it is really an issue. And I mean, you can only benefit. There's really no downside to this. Like it's donor funded. You come here, they treat you great. The facilities are amazing. The staff is amazing. Like there's no downside to it. As especially Swix, like you know what you went through. Just take the time, come out here and improve your life. For years after I got out of the Navy, I kept saying like I'm fine. Like I never got knocked out. I never like had this or that. Like I feel totally fine. And all it took was like reading an article where they like broke down each of the symptoms and how they can affect you, and it was like the article was written about me personally, and I mean, that's all it took, like, it because, I mean, I'd had suspicions that something was wrong. I mean, like, I was having those issues at work, and I couldn't figure out why, like, I was trying my absolute hardest, like, I was putting forth all the effort I had, but I just couldn't cut it, and seeing that these things I thought were my personality, but I'm really happy because it's you can't fix something if you don't know it's an issue. So I've set up things that I want to do in my life, but they require massive cognition, and there's no way around that. So I'm really happy I found this place.